Okay, hi there, guys. So right now, let me plug in my mic. Right now, we are at Rio International Airport. I'm here with one of the sheriff's deputies, and there's a small group of people right now. He's asking if they would be willing to chat with us a little bit. There's obviously some little kids over there. So what I can tell you right now, based on what the Customs and Border Patrol chief has told us, is that most single adults will be sent back on planes to their country of origin, but we know that family units will likely be given NTAs. And what an NTA is a notice to appear. And so they'll go to wherever their final destination is, whether that's meeting up with family or a sponsor family, and then they will be given a notice to appear at that location. So they won't need to come back to Del Rio to appear. They'll get a notice wherever they're going, and that usually would be active in about 12 to 36 months is when they would need to appear in front of a judge. So again, we are here at Del Rio International Airport. We know that some flights have already been going out per DHS. The Department of Homeland Security had some planned flights that went out yesterday. So today we have already seen some flights go out as well. Bill Malusian, he's with Fox News, has been reporting that as well. So we are keeping an eye on this here out in Del Rio, Texas. One of these sheriff's deputies is over here talking with these folks, kind of getting some information and seeing if they're willing to chat with us a little bit. Because, you know, this is a multifaceted situation here, right? It's hot. It's going to be hotter today than it was yesterday. So let me talk to Mario really quickly here and see. So I am live streaming right now, but I'm not showing. They don't want to talk right now?
They don't want to talk.
Can you tell me anything about the family?
They're flying from, they're going to be flying from Aerolíneas.
Where's that?
They're going to be flying from American Airlines.
Okay.
They're going to be flying back into their hometown.
Okay,
Yes.
like Haiti?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, because the chief of Border Patrol was saying that family units are likely going to be given an NTA. So I mean, this seems like a family unit. Do you know why
Yes.
they would have to go back?
I can ask and then just go from there.
Okay, that would be great. That would be great. Thank you. Okay, so they don't want to be interviewed. This is, like I said, this is a multi-layered situation here, and we are certainly trying to talk with some families. Now, one of the issues here, though, is I'm gonna remove my mask because there's nobody out here. One of the issues, though, is that when you're down at the bridge, we're looking at still 12,000 people down there, right? So, for example, my friend Bill was down there and he talked to one person, and at that point, they were swarmed by a lot of other people because there are people down there that found out that they're going to get sent back to their country of origin. And just so you guys know too, a lot of them have been traveling for well over a year. They haven't been back in Haiti or back in their home country for years. And so a lot of them have been living in Peru or Chile. So if they're finding out they're going to be sent back to a country that they fled years ago, that's a lot to take. So there's a lot of frustration down there as well. We've been told that, you know, a lot of them have kind of been given the green light to come over. They have kind of itineraries of what stops they're going to be making. They're on kind of Greyhound buses going through Mexico, and we're trying to really figure out who's paying for that, where that is, you know, what's happening there. And so we have a lot of digging to do still here. But Mario's going to come back here and give me a little bit more information. Let me get my mask on here so that you got to respect him. There's a lot of stuff going on out here. Okay, Mario, what's going on? What'd you learn?
I apologize. So they are actually going to go through American Airlines. They're headed to New York to be with a family member.
Okay.
And then from there, they're going to be staying there with the family out in Long Island. That's all they were willing to basically give. And it's going to be his family and an aunt.
Okay, so exactly what I thought.
Yes.
So they're given an NTA, which is that notice to appear. So this family is going to meet family in New York, and that's kind of what we had anticipated. Okay, so that's all they're going to give us today. Okay, perfect. So we're going to get back in the car and see. But again, just so you guys know, they're getting on a flight, American Airlines flight, and they're going to go to Long Island. They have family in Long Island. And this is definitely a scene that we have seen a lot, because when I was here over a month ago, we had a very similar situation play out. We were in an NGO, and you can drive wherever you need to go, Mario. We're just doing a live stream here, so, you know, it's formally informal. Okay, so when we were here last month, we were at an NGO in Del Rio, and there's only one NGO, and an NGO is a non-government organization that comes in and kind of supplements the law enforcement teams here and stuff, and will help them in their next steps. So after they're processed by Border Patrol, so they're not just kicked out into the streets or whatever, the NGO will come in and kind of be that that next step for them to help them on their journey. And most of them aren't English speaking either. And so these folks here, it's very similar to the situation that I learned about a month ago when there was a woman here that had traveled from Uruguay. She had started her journey 4 years ago. She had lived in Peru and she had lived in Chile as well, and she was working and she had little kids and they were just trying to save enough money to get here. Well, 4 months ago, her family made it over here and they went up to Vegas and they called and said, this is how you get here. This is the path, basically. We made it here safely. We've got a job for you lined up. So the woman was going to work in the hospitality industry in Las Vegas, and her husband was going to work as a cabinet refinisher also in Las Vegas. So again, they're meeting up with families or sponsors, somebody that help fund their trip or anything like that. And again, I don't know who that is specifically, or if it's a friend, somebody that just cares about getting people here safely, or what that situation is. But again, some of them do have family members. That group right there said that they're meeting up with an aunt in Long Island. So they're hopping on a plane right now. Again, after their process, so that huge camp that is underneath that bridge, nobody has even really interacted with law enforcement yet at that camp. They're given a ticket with a number on it, and that's how they're distinguished from groups. So if you're a single adult male or a single adult female, you're going to get in one direction or the other, and you're going to get a ticket. Now, if you're a family unit, you get one ticket for the whole family unit. And then what we learned from the chief of Border Patrol and from that family right there, family units are going to be given an NTA. Family units will be able to stay in the U.S. for at least 12 to 36 months before they need to appear before a judge. That court date will happen at their final destination. So for this family, they'll meet with a judge in New York, because there's no way they're coming back down to Texas. I mean, we already know that the percentage of the appearances for courts, for the NTAs, the percentage isn't that high. So if you are trying to get them to come all the way back down to Texas, it's going to be zero, right? So they have those court dates up where what their destination is. So again, we just saw a family. There was about 9 people there. A little girl. Again, family units are going to be able to proceed into the U.S. after they are processed at the bridge. No actual processing is happening at that bridge. What's happening, all those buses you're seeing, those people are put on the buses and then they're taken to Border Patrol processing facilities across the state. Some as far as Laredo. We know some have gone even more north of that. And we know those facilities are also maxed out. So that's why they're being sent there, is because Del Rio's capacity for processing has been exacerbated and exhausted already. It was months ago. So now they're trying to really keep their community safe, keep the people out here safe, keep it as humane as possible, and also keep all of our law enforcement individuals safe as well. So again, they're going to be processed, taken to another, or they're going to be at a facility being processed, and then they will be given either an NTA, which is that notice to appear, and so they'll be able to stay there for 12 to 36 months before they need to appear, or they will be sent back to their country of origin, depending. Now, it's a little bit different with this situation because there are so many of them. When I was here a month ago, most people, aside from like single adult males, I believe, were kind of being allowed in to and given an NTA. Now it is just the family units that we're learning. So something that we're continuing to keep an eye on. But right now we're heading towards, are we going to the superintendent or are we going to go to the bridge?
No, we're superintendent.
Okay, so we're going to go talk to the superintendent of schools here. So I'm going to pop off of this because I need to touch base with him really quick. But because the bridge is closed, it is an international bridge, and there are actually a lot of kids that live on that side that have visas that are able to come back over and go to to the schools here. Like there are some private schools that they attend here. So, for example, one of the private schools had to have their parents come and get their kids on Friday because the bridge was closing, so they weren't going to be able to go back and forth. So we're going to talk about that impact as well. I'm going to continue to try to work to talk with some families and understand what they're going through and any needs that they might have. But again, it is a really sensitive situation down at the bridge where most people are, because one false move can create hysteria, can create problems, And that is the last thing I need to do, is to contribute to any problems with law enforcement out there that they're already dealing with. And the last thing you need is to have 12,000 angry people. So stick around for that. We're going to talk with the super. Thank you, Mario. You're the best. All right, guys, we'll see you soon.